Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Sunday to you guys. Hope you all had an amazing weekend, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead of you. Anyways, my friends, we got ourselves a bit of updates here on the tropics. We're also going to be talking about the possibility for severe weather as well. So we'll be pretty busy this live stream, talking about basically a lot of the overall updates, not just on the tropics, but we're also going to talk about, like I said, the severe weather possibilities. Might even squeeze in a few personal forecasts towards the end of the live stream, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, well, what's up, guys? Let's go ahead and see who is here for today. We got ourselves Catanado, we have Liam, we have Jim. Let's see here, Kala, we have Mr. America, we have Scott, Wolf Gamer, let's see here, Carson, Mark, Jazor. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Glad to have y'all here. So anyways, but yeah, so we're going to start off here with the tropics. I do want to just get the tropics, or at least in terms of Dawn, out of the way, because if you don't know, Dawn was actually that hurricane that did kick off. It's actually slightly weaker since this morning, whenever I did do a video. Like really early. I ended up pulling a video at I think it was like 6 in the morning or something. I started working on it like probably around 4, I'd say. Anyways, but yeah, it's been pretty it's been pretty crazy with the video and stuff like that. But anyways, but here over at the Hurricane Center, here's the latest information. Oh, that is messed up. I think my I think my scenes might be messed up here. Hold on, I might need to switch this over to let's see. Oh, that one's right. What's all that about? Anyways, let me try full screen, maybe this will work. If not, I'm gonna have that definitely did not work. Thank you, Ended, for the $2 super chat. Greatly appreciated. That's super nice of you. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna have to move this. Let's see this. There we go. All right, there we go. I don't know what's going on with that. But Andon, thank you, saying, how's the weather for me in Wisconsin? All right, I'll get to you in 1 second, Andon. But here's Dawn, the remains of Dawn here, now basically parallel with Maine. If you take Maine, you go directly east. That is where the center of the location, or the center of the system is located, basically out here along 45 degrees north. So this thing is going to continue tracking northeast. Good news, not expected to do anything. It's going to be rolling its way further away from land. I mean, right now it's closer to land than it's going to be in a couple days. So overall, that's some good news. We're not expecting any problems out of Dawn. Right now, like I said, it currently is a tropical storm with sustained winds of 60 miles per hour with a possible, possibly with the, some higher gusts could be possible. Now, look at this. I'm going to go and bring you all back over here to its track. I don't know if you guys have seen this, really. Let's see if I can straighten that out a little bit. I don't know if you guys have seen the track of the system. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely nuts here. I'm going to actually pull up the pin here. But in terms of the system, y'all, it literally did a crazy pattern. It tracked northeast, it went down southeast, kind of did a big U, and then went around, and then it pulled again, and then now it's going out. So it's doing this weird track. Honestly, this is probably one of the one of the weirdest tracks of tropicals of a tropical system I've probably ever seen. Definitely a little interesting. But anyways, we got Dawn, not expecting to cause any problems. But then we have ourselves 95L. That's another system we are going to need to be watching over the next little bit. This guy is tracking to the northwest here. Now, the models, they do have this thing going right over the Lesser Antilles. Probably the southern portion seems to be the most likelihood in terms of tracks. In which I'm going to pull up the latest models here from the spaghetti plots. You guys probably have heard of from the tropics. Now, the spaghetti plots are kind of a little weird right now. I'm not going to lie. Let's see here. I'm just going to pull this over here. So here's the latest spaghetti plots. They're a little wonky, as you can probably tell. So obviously, all the models do agree on a continued advancement to the northwest, essentially here. Now, like I said, this thing will likely cross into the southern Lesser Antilles, or the Windward Island, I believe. So obviously, I don't know if this is the Windward or Leeward Islands, but anyways, we're down there towards the southern Lesser Antilles. This actually, the latest models, if you may or may not have noticed, kind of has it possibly tracking down south. So there's a chance that this thing could even scrape right next to, I believe this is Venezuela, scraping right towards northern South America. according to the latest runs. Now, obviously, if that did play out, that would be absolutely good news because it would not really track deeper into the Caribbean. Now, in terms of, like I said, ensembles, in terms of the track, here's another possible track. According to some of these ensembles from the GEPS model. So obviously this one is still kind of showing the same thing, maybe just going over the southern Lesser Antilles, but kind of has most of those ensembles still going through the Caribbean. Now here's the question. Here's the main question you guys are probably wondering. Well, will this impact the United States? I don't think so. I personally do not think so. Because here's the thing. So according to the system here, the good news is that we were talking about this earlier in this morning's video. There's actually a very strong jet, a very, very strong jet stream of just a bunch of strong winds that is moving dead at the storm. So as this system, tracks its way towards the Lesser Antilles, it's going to be meeting up with a big jet of just strong winds. Now, this is going to be a big problem because obviously this, with those strong winds, tropical systems cannot organize. They just get shredded apart, essentially. So that's definitely not really anything good. But anyways, so that's that. So we'll need to keep an eye on it now. And regarding to the intensity models, I'm sure that's probably what you want to see right now. The latest models in terms of intensity, honestly, there's a lot of disagreement here. Here we go. Here's the latest intensity guidance from the spaghetti models. So obviously, each one of these little lines represents a model run. And you can see how, obviously maybe slight strengthening is expected. But honestly, this thing has it, barely even possibly scraping that tropical storm force boundary, as most of the models actually kind of end right here. As you can kind of see, there's not as many models playing through until, like I said, if you look at the end, there's only like 4 models here. And if you look at the beginning, there's like at least 10 of models here. So obviously a lot of the models drop support of it about 3 days out, as those strong upper level winds and a possible movement towards basically northern South America could be possible. So, but if it continues, some of the models do support still possibly maybe a little bit of tropical activity in terms of tropical storm activity. Personally, that's worst case scenario. I really don't know if that's going to happen at this point. I'd have to dive. We'll dive more into like the direct models. I'll show you like individually here in a moment. But anyways. Let's see here. Thank goodness this Jim. Absolutely. Let's see, 95L. What kind of name is that? So, this is what we call an invest. It's not a tropical storm yet. That's what happens to every storm before it becomes a named storm, is it has an invest number, either 95L, 97L, 98L. Like I said, that's how it usually starts. Now, in terms of 95L, it's an invest, meaning we're investigating it. It's neither a tropical depression, tropical storm, or a hurricane right now. It's none of those. It's a investigation. It's basically, a tropical wave that is currently rolling through. So a tropical wave is basically just a big cluster of thunderstorms over one area that moves into a semi-conducive or conducive environment for tropical development. So in regarding to that, it's just an invest right now. But we'll continue watching it. If it does continue to strengthen, if it does become a tropical storm, it will officially get a name. Tropical storms get a name and everything like that. All right, let's see here. See, 95L is a high category 2. Jim, no, it does not. 95L, like I said, here's the models for it. None of them even have it getting near category 1. Here's category 1 standpoint. Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, the spaghetti models don't even get anywhere near hurricane activity. Literally, they did before. The other day, the models were actually showing maybe a category 2 in terms of activity. But now, the models obviously are kind of showing something like this. That line of best fit, that middle point I just drew there, kind of has it scraping upper level tropical depression and possibly lower level tropical storm. So we'll just need to keep an eye out there for that. All right, let's go ahead and see here. So Andon, let's see here. Andon, I'm going to get to your super chat really quickly. Thank you so much once again, dude. I just had to talk a little bit about that. After I show you Andon's forecast really quickly, I will hop over back to the models. We're going to look at like the HWRF in terms of that. So we're going to see what the crazy models have to say about this tropical system. Anyways, but for you, my friend, you're good today. Tomorrow, you got a marginal risk out there. No tornadoes, hail 5% chance, and damaging winds, 5% chance. So very, very small chance for any severe weather for tomorrow, being Monday. And in terms of Tuesday, you are looking good. So tomorrow, just look out for a 5% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of your current location, giving you a 5% chance for hail up to quarter size and a 5% chance for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour regarding those wind gusts. So overall, that is that. Thank you, man, once again for the super chat. All right, so now we're going to hop over to the crazy models. Let's see. We have 95L on the HWRF. I have not even looked at these, so we're going to look at this together, which is definitely a little bit interesting. So let's go ahead and hop over here to the models. This is the once again, this is the HWRF model. This is a hurricane model. So we track way down in time. So you guys can see the time in the top right here. So now we're looking at 5 a.m. July 24th, so tomorrow morning. We continue working our way down in time. So actually, just before it, so there's the Lesser Antilles right here. Just before it approaches the Lesser Antilles, it does kind of have, some of that thunderstorm activity maybe grouping up a little bit more. That could be some good news. It is showing a little bit better support. Regarding, maybe a bit more stronger, something we should need to keep an eye out there for. Now, as we track our way down here further in time, this will go over the Lesser Antilles. It's kind of hard to see here, but it does kind of have a big cluster of thunderstorm activity popping off over the Lesser Antilles, which is something that we'll need to watch out for. Now, right now, do I think it'll be tropical activity? Do I think it'll be a tropical storm? Probably not. Let's see. Oh my God, Wolfgamer, dude! A $50 super chat. Holy cow, dude. Wolfgamer, thank you so much, man. That is awesome. Much love from Georgia. Dude, everybody please give Wolfgamer a big thank you. Really, dude, that's super nice of you. Oh my gosh. Wolfgamer, dude, you are awesome. Thank you so much, man. That's very sweet of you. Huge shout out, dude. I'm honestly speechless. Thank you, man. Wolfgamer, you rock, dude. That is super sweet of you. Wow. Thank you, man. That's super nice. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. That is very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much, Wolfgamer. You rock, man. Or ma'am. But thank you seriously so much. Very, very sweet of you. But then after we track way down in time here, according to the model here, it kind of just has it just remaining a bunch of just kind of disorganized thunderstorm activity. So HWRF model really does not show much. I am really shocked. I'm like in shock right now, Wolfgamer. Thank you, dude. That's super sweet of you. All right, so then we move our way back over here towards, let's see, another model, HMON. This is another hurricane model. So this one, in comparison to the last one, let's see here, kind of showing maybe the same thing here. Maybe a group of those thunderstorms starting to really come to an organization here just before it reaches, basically just before it reaches the Lesser Antilles. So this is kind of showing here for like the morning of the 25th in regarding to activity here. Then it continues tracking westward, just remaining a bunch of disorganized thunderstorms. So honestly, to be honest, this is looking a lot, like I said, it looks like it's dying out quite a bit, according to even the major hurricane models. I mean, like I said, the HWRF model we were just looking at here, this is known to be one of the crazy models. This is known to be like one of the worst case scenario models, because I've seen every single tropical event that pops up here. It literally does not show, or it usually over-exaggerates tropical activity, and in this case, it's barely even showing anything happening, with that central low getting as low as like 1,012 millibars. So, personally, I don't think this will become a tropical storm. As of now, as of what I'm seeing right now, I don't think so. I really do not think so. Now, whenever it comes to the, whenever it comes to the conditions, now this is where you guys need to pay attention to. So this is kind of a big part of what the system will do. So first of all, you need to understand that there's really three main things you need for tropical development. You need warm surface temperatures. You need those waters to be really warm up on the surface. You need a lot of moisture across a lot of the atmosphere, feeding those thunderstorm activity. And then the third thing that you need is a lack of winds. Now, you might be wondering, well, wait a minute. That's kind of weird because hurricanes cause a lot of winds. Yes, they do. But here's the thing. They don't need any foreign winds. They don't need any winds from any other system to get in their way. Because if it does, say if you have a hurricane that develops and you have a lot of strong winds just pointing right at the hurricane or the tropical storm, it will just shred and go right through that storm. Basically, preventing any activity to occur in regarding to activity. So basically, if there's a lot of strong winds, it will basically rip apart the storm and choke it out completely. So that's something you don't want. Now, anyways, here's a GFS model. This is the global forecast system. This is the main model here, or one of the main models here. So we track way down in time. You obviously see that little itty bitty depression here, right there. That is 95L. That's what we're watching, and it really doesn't show much happening as it tracks over the Lesser Antilles. Now the activity has completely died out essentially. Now here's the first thing we're going to talk about. So essentially those surface temperatures, I can tell you right now, they are seriously good enough to support tropical activity. I mean, literally, you have to have these surface temperatures for tropical storm activity to be over 26 degrees or 26 degrees Celsius and higher. And so in this case, you can actually see here that the entire central Atlantic, basically, and the Caribbean, the Gulf is on fire. A lot of warm temperatures. But yeah, and regarding to activity, the surface temperatures is not what's limiting the storm. Regardless, these waters are supportive of tropical activity. So it's not the wind, or sorry, it's not those surface temperatures. So that's something. Now we work our way back over here to the model. So now we're going to look at the available moisture. So you can actually see basically the brown is showing a lot of dry air, which hurricanes don't like. They can't really do well in dry environments. But in terms of activity, so there's 95L. So all that blue is showing a lot of moisture. So what it looks like is that, yeah, there's plenty of moisture. So check 2 out of 3 boxes off. I mean, you have the support for those surface temperatures being really warm that can, fuel a lot of the storm here. And then you got the moisture supply showing a lot of blue, basically right where that 95L marker is. So there's 95L right in there. And you can see how once it reaches the Caribbean, there's a lot of available moisture. So that's not the problem. So it's not the lack of moisture. It's also not the surface temperatures. That leads you to one thing now. Like I said, that leads you to one thing, and that is essentially the upper level winds. Now here's where it gets you. Oh, let's see. Hold on. We're going to have to switch over to this one. Here we go. So, all right. So we work our way back in time here. Obviously, we have 95L right here. Now watch the Caribbean. So obviously there's 95L where it would be continuing to track westward. And then you see, boom, look at that. So we have a big jet of really strong winds. I don't know if y'all can really see that very well. But down here, so this is where 95L would be. I probably need to reset my program here. Hold on. Let me go ahead and shut down this pen. For some reason, it just cuts out sometimes. So let's go ahead and close that, and we'll go ahead and open it again. All right, let's see here. Where'd it go? Where's my pen? Oh, no. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So anyways, back where we left off. So like I said, right here across the Caribbean, so we have 95L that's tracking this way. You notice how there's a lot of strong winds across the atmosphere, basically at all levels of the atmosphere, really screaming up to the northeast, kind of like towards the east, northeast here. So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy, showing there's a lot of strong winds that's basically, ripping apart any development that is attempting to occur. So like I said, the storm, the other environment, like I said, the moisture, the surface temperatures upon the ocean are suitable. They're really suitable for tropical development. But those winds are just going to rip apart anything that tries to happen. So that's kind of the big problem here. And that is essentially what we are looking at regarding the system. So thanks to a lot of strong upper level winds, it does not look like this system will develop really into anything crazy. So that is definitely some good news for everybody out there. So we're likely not going to see anything crazy out of this system, out of 95L, at least in the latest runs here. Like I said, obviously, you go back like 2 days or so, it showed like a possible category 3 out of some models, which was crazy. That has seriously dropped off a lot since, the latest updates and stuff like that. So that's good. Models are now supporting basically an environment where this will not likely happen. Overall in general. And, honestly, if you guys are familiar with El Nino and La Nina, we just crossed from La Nina into El Nino, which El Nino means stronger winds across the Atlantic. And yeah, we can see that. We can obviously see that right now. The environment here, across the Atlantic is really, really strong wind, a big strong wind bag, essentially. I mean, we got a big jet stream going all the way from the southern Caribbean, going over the Lesser Antilles, going through the central Atlantic and out there towards southern Europe, essentially. Which is really interesting. So, yeah, in terms of the winds, that's just what's going to kill out this storm here. So, like I said, honestly, not too worried about this storm. So that's definitely some good news. So you guys can take a breather because I think everything will be all right. So there's Dawn, according to the GFS. Obviously, 95L doesn't really develop. We track way further down in time. Now, according to the GFS, we might have another tropical wave happening here for the 26th, according to this. That's interesting. That's something that I'm a little new to. All right, let's see. I'm actually going to double check on this here. Let's go and hop to this program. I'm actually going to full screen this to you guys. So we're actually going to look for, there might be another system that might be trying to fire off behind this. Let me verify and see if this is true. So here's the ensembles, basically a big old spaghetti type of model. This is one model, but it basically runs over and over and over. All right, let's see here. So we have, okay, so obviously that's 95L. That's that low activity that's kicking off. And according to, whoa, hold on a minute. Oh, man. Wow. All right, so it's not just the GFS is saying that. Look at that. There might be another system following right behind that, y'all. So we're not out. Oh man, that's literally brand new information we're just bringing into you guys right now. So obviously, like I said, this little guy, that's 95L, doesn't really show too much. But then we have this one that kicks up. Obviously, we don't know anything about the track, even though it kind of goes above the above the Lesser Antilles, but that's not a for sure thing. But wow, that is interesting. Once again, Wolf, thank you so much. Wolf says, it's no problem. I never have time to watch your stream, so I decided to pop in and donate. Well, that's very sweet of you, Wolf. Thank you, man. Seriously, once again, you seriously have made my night with that. It's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Like I said, it really does help out. It helps out more than imaginable. I mean, obviously, it helps pay the weather program bills. So you basically just supplied me with a membership, or not a membership, a subscription to this program. So this is where your money went. It went to supply this program I use here, and you did that. Thank you so much for that. Very, very sweet of you. But all right, let's go and take a look at some of these other models. That's actually really interesting, the fact that we might have another system to fire off behind this one. So I don't think 95L is going to do anything, but let's see. What about this next one? See, CMC model. Let's see. CMC. Okay, yeah, CMC does not really support that much activity here, but I don't expect all the models to agree on it right now. Whoa, Icon supports it. So this is Icon model. You can actually see that little, right there, that little, that little depression there, or that wave. That's interesting. That's really really interesting. Now, like I said, early signatures of this system here, obviously according to models, kind of does have it moving a little bit more further northwest. Maybe something like this, but that's still way too early to tell. Still way too early. Let's see here. It doesn't get. Oh, Mr. America, hope you feel better. Let's see. Colin says, "What an amazing person." I agree. That was very, very sweet of Wolf Gamer. Seriously, Wolf, dude, once again, thank you so much. I can't say it more than I cannot say it enough, dude. That really made my night. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's what's going on there. Let's see. Is there any other? So we have Nav Gym. I don't think we looked at Nav Gym here. Okay, yeah, Nav Gym doesn't really talk about it too much. Okay, well, that's that. That's essentially what we're looking at. So whenever it comes to 95L, bottom line, I don't expect much to anything to happen, honestly. Things are, honestly looking pretty okay. Upper level winds are going to destroy the storm here, which is, some good news. But like I said, now I'm a little concerned for this guy, for this possible secondary system that could cause a bit of issues maybe down in time. This is kind of showing it developing here. Let's see. The major of the models has this thing here for, let's see, looks like the 28th. So that's in what? See, the 28th. So that's in 5 days, right? 5 days away from now. So in 5 days, it has this area here highlighted. Let's see. All right, that's something we haven't looked at. We haven't looked at the Hurricane Center yet. Do they have anything talking about this? They do not. Oh, wow. You know what? They significantly downgraded that. Here, I'm going to full screen this for you guys. they significantly brought down this probability. So disturbance 1. Now, this system only now has a 30% chance of formation. That's 95L, by the way. So yeah, 95L only has a 30% chance of development now. That's a lot lower. So for example, just I think it was day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Just day before yesterday, they had the storm at a 70% chance overall formation. Now it's down to a 30% chance. They dropped like 40% chance probability. So honestly, I'm losing hope, and it looks like the Hurricane Center's losing hope on the system as well. So obviously we still have Don, upper level, kind of, mid-upper level tropical storm here. But they do not talk about that other area yet. So that's some new information you guys are getting an early whiff of, essentially. Which, yeah, definitely, we'll keep an eye on it. That is absolutely for sure. All right, so that's that, guys. So we just basically talked about the tropics. So now I want to pay attention a little bit more on the severe weather aspect. So I'm going to go and hop you guys over here to the back to my main screen over here. I am going to turn off the satellite view. I don't want to cause any unnecessary confusion, so let's go ahead and turn that off. So, all right, so in regarding to the severe thunderstorm activity here, so we have our day 1 outlook. This is basically like I said, this is today's outlook, so for tonight. So believe it or not, since yesterday, or since this morning anyways, I should say, we actually got an upgrade to the possibility for severe weather today across the eastern Nebraska area, southeastern South Dakota. So anywhere across the dark green areas here and the yellow, you have a percentage of seeing severe weather. So basically across the dark green, you have basically a 5% chance of seeing severe weather. Across the yellow, you have a 15% chance of seeing severe weather. So that's basically, every 25 miles, there's a 5% chance across the green that you'll see some severe thunderstorm activity. And across the yellow, it's a 15% chance, so 3 times the amount, essentially. So the greatest probability, as you can probably tell here, will be across Nebraska. We also do have a little 5% zone across, North and South Carolina. Another one across Arizona here as well. But the main concern seems to be across like the portions of the Midwest, as well as, the central and northern plains here. Seems to be a possibility. So that is something to watch out for. Now, in regarding to the breakdown, the good news is that there is no threat for any tornadoes. We are looking good. Yeah, no threat for any tornadoes today. That's very good. We don't want any tornadoes. In terms of hail, though, that's what gives us that big threat there. So we got to look out for some pretty big hailstones. The hail is only a concern across portions of the plains and portions of the, like Missouri. So regardless, 15% chance for hail up to quarter size. A few storms could be, maybe a little bit stronger there. Right now, we don't have any severe thunderstorm activity out there right now. The only thing we have currently that is severe is a severe thunderstorm warning in Illinois right now. This is actually towards Decatur, believe it or not. This is actually not far from Decatur, heading right towards Dalton City, Bethany, which this guy is only for, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half size hail. So that's actually larger than quarter size. So there you go. That is that's the size of the hail up to $half size. But Dalton City, Bethany, you guys are probably going to get hit by that. I'd say there's a lot of lightning activity considering how strong these reflectivity totals are. Obviously, a lot of collision between ice crystals in the upper atmosphere will definitely generate enough static electricity to allow for a lot of lightning activity. So I think that's a good possibility out there towards central Illinois. But that's literally all that's basically going on right now. Anyways, but back over here to the risk area. The funny thing is that they don't even have that area in that risk. Because Decatur is right here, and they're just in that thunderstorm risk, but they're not expected to be severe. So that's essentially kind of what we're looking at. So we have the light green area. This is basically, showing a few thunderstorms possible. The dark green shows, possibility, a small chance for severe thunderstorm activity, and then yellow shows a, kind of a mild, almost decent chance for severe weather out there. But yeah. Right now, there's really not much going on in those fields. Now, we work our way towards tomorrow. We have not talked about the winds. Winds, 5% chance across every area, but nothing too crazy. Now, tomorrow, even I'm in the risk, apparently. Wow, this is a lot bigger than we've seen earlier. So I made a video, like I said, this morning. This is actually a lot more active than what we were looking at this morning. Anyways, but tomorrow, being on Monday, we got a risk for Wisconsin. We got Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, even northern Arkansas, northwestern Tennessee, Kentucky, central southern Indiana, even southwestern Ohio. And then we have another little risk out there for severe weather across, like, Pennsylvania, New York, let's see, Vermont, portions of western New Hampshire, northwestern Massachusetts. And the possible threat here for a couple of strong and severe thunderstorms tomorrow. Now, the good news is tomorrow, no tornado concerns again, so that's good. Between today and tomorrow, we're not expecting any tornadoes. Hail, though, that's possible for both of those areas we just talked about, giving you a 5% chance every 25 miles of seeing, severe weather occurring there. So, obviously, there's a possibility that, some hail could be possible out there. In terms of damaging winds, same thing, 5% chance. So basically up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I'd say at absolute worst, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts out of some storms. Rare storms could be possible. In terms of hail, mostly quarter-size hail could be possible. But that is, like I said, that's essentially what we are looking at. Now, in terms of Wednesday, we got a threat up north for North South Dakota, northwestern Minnesota, and north central Nebraska. There's no breakdown for days. There's no breakdown for the first 2 days, so today and tomorrow. After today and tomorrow, there's no risk. There's no breakdown, but we do have a risk for severe weather out here for the northern plains. So watch out there for Wednesday, and a couple thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley. But like I said, nothing too extreme overall. Let's see here. We had some crazy weather here in Falcon, Colorado a couple hours ago. High winds, lightning, and thunder. Wow. Let's go and take a look out there towards Colorado here. Let's see if there's any of that activity still occurring. Like I said, today's risk does have portions of northeastern Colorado at risk here. Slowly but surely we'll work our way out there. Here we go. So here is Colorado. We're going to switch over. Okay, so we do have one storm popping off here, kind of for east central Colorado, but it's not severe or anything. It looks like a little bit of activity out here towards Nebraska as well. Let me look here. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of activity out there towards Nebraska as well. Yep. So we got a little bit of thunderstorm activity, but they're not severe. This guy towards Ashby, and let's see here, they're heading towards Whitman, towards Bingham. That looks like a pretty gnarly storm here. Radar is not terribly far away. It's about 55 miles or so. But I'm sure there's a lot of lightning activity on that guy. I would not be surprised at all. Would not be surprised. Let's see here. But anyways, Bomber wants me to take a look here at 68701. Like I said, I will do a couple of zip codes today. Let's see, 68701 for Nebraska. I think we said that Nebraska was, let's see, you're towards Norfolk. Gotcha. Let me hop y'all over here towards that region. So today, okay. I think today actually, yeah, you're in a slight risk, I believe. See, Norfolk, northeastern side. Yeah, no, you're in a slight risk. You actually have a pretty decent threat for severe weather today. Which, let's see here. I'm not sure what the timing is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the timing here. According to the models, we got the HRRR here. Okay, so here's the latest activity. So oh, wow, look at that. Look at that line that pops up. Holy cow. That happens at like... Really, this is showing around like 08Z Zulu, which that's like 4 a.m. tomorrow morning rather than today. It's like early tomorrow morning. Golly. So there you go. Yeah, early tomorrow morning. Between like 4 or 5 a.m. Models are showing a pretty gnarly like MCS type of ordeal here. Going right over Kansas City too, around 12 Zulu, which is at 8 a.m., maybe 8, 9 a.m., getting a big storm going right over Kansas City. Let's see, does Kansas City have the risk? They have a marginal, because it looks like it might die out a bit. Okay, anyways, that's interesting. So heads up to you, man. That looks like that'll be pretty interesting. I'm really, really curious to see how that's going to pan out tomorrow. Let's see here, models... I might even be live for it early tomorrow morning, because my schedule, not going to lie, has been really bad lately, y'all. My schedule, I'm mostly on night shift now. So I'm literally waking up at, like, late and going to bed, like, really early. Okay, now here's the thing, though. So, Bomber, according to the HRRR here, so obviously, yeah, you're here towards Norfolk. It actually looks like that activity is going to be blowing up to your east, once again, maybe around 4, 5 a.m. But this in particular model has it remaining to your east, which is interesting. See, I better not get no tornado warning because I'm starting a job site tomorrow. Okay, so the good news is Bomb Hill's that there's no threat for any tornadoes. Like I said, between today and tomorrow, we're good. We're not expecting any tornadic activity. So that's that. What's up, J. Lou? See, so sorry. Sooner than later, though. Yep, glad to have you here, man. Or ma'am. Not sure. Well, glad to have you here. Let's see. Am I streaming at 4 in the morning? Rain. If I'm up and I'm available, I might. I'm gonna watch it though, because like I said, obviously I'm up really late now. My schedule, like I said, seriously, I wake up like in the evening, and then I go to bed like in the early morning now. Like I'm total night shift right now. Honestly, I mostly did this because of what I do here. I probably need to get back into my groove, but tonight I will probably I'll see about it. I'll think about it. It's not a no, but it's not a yes either. Let's see here. Ma'am, LOL. Thank you, Andrew. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. All right, so that's that. Let's see here. According to Model 2, maybe shows a little bit of thunderstorm activity early as well. Maybe they're towards like St. Louis, maybe slightly south. A couple thunderstorms possible. Let's see here. Looks like we got a low pressure system. It's going to be moving in towards the northwest. Yeah, looks like a big wall of precipitation going to be heading out there towards like Seattle and Portland, Oregon. That's interesting. So could bring a little bit of rain out there. Let's see here. Roses and Red says, let's see. 36066, guess what? My birthday is next month. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Happy extremely early birthday. Let's see, 36066. This is for Alabama. Okay, so I don't think there's anything going on for Alabama, honestly. Let's see. Let me double check, though. I'm not 100% sure. Yep, today, tomorrow, nothing. Yep, we're good. No, there's nothing severe going on for the next couple of days. And actually, I think your chances for seeing any thunderstorm activity are actually pretty low. Today, possibly. Tomorrow, not expected. And same thing for the day after that as well. Here for Wednesday, we're not expecting much of anything. Let's see here. Sometimes he streams till 7 in the morning. Sometimes, dude, my streams are all over the place. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Sometimes I stream like normal times, like 2 p.m. like whenever severe weather happens. Sometimes I usually stream late if there's not much going on. Usually around like anywhere from 7 to 9 p.m. That's whenever I usually go live. But yeah, but my streams are all over the place. Let's see here. Whitney says, hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing good. Andrew, there was tennis ball size hail in Canada an hour ago. Wow. Wolf Gamer says, I'm clipping your reaction. I loved it. Well, once again, Wolf, dude, seriously, thank you. That's very sweet. Very, very sweet of you. And like I said, just know that it's very much appreciated. And you honestly really made my night from that. That's very sweet. Let's see. Oh, we got the zip codes coming in now. Oh, Lord. What did I do? All right, let's go ahead and see. So we have David, 39120, or 120. Mississippi. I don't think there's nothing going on out here either. Pretty sure. Out towards your way. Like I said, severe weather over the next couple days, pretty limited. Yeah. Now you're in the clear for the next 3 days. So from now will be Monday, or from let's see, from now until Tuesday, you look pretty okay. Richard wants to take a look here at 86403. Let's see, 86403 for Arizona. Let's see. I think you might be in a marginal today, actually. Let's see here. Hold on. You're right there next to California line. I think you might actually be in a marginal today. Oh, wow. You know what? I think you are. Let's see. You're near Lake, let's see. Lake, what is that? Hey, Lake, how do you pronounce this? Lake Havasu? Is that it? Did I say that right? Is it Lake Havasu City? Anyways, but yeah, you are in the marginal. Only concern, though, I think is wind probabilities. Yeah, a couple gusty winds possible. Let's see here. Makes it even cooler. Wolf, doing it, appreciating it so much, letting you know where he spent it and clipping it. Amazing. Y'all are too cool. Well, thank you, J-Lu. Death in Colorado will get more bad hail. There's no way to tell, like, in the future, really. I mean, it's really hard to forecast severe weather really far out. I only focus on, like, the next couple of days. I really don't go way far out to look at those areas. But I mean, it's still we could still see some more activity. I'd say so. We'll see kills Oz once we take a look here at 77550. Let's see here. Like I said, the main concerns here, I don't even think you're in the risk here. You're towards Houston, southeast of Houston, Galveston, right there on the coast. The probability for severe weather is mostly up north. So you're in something we call a general thunderstorm threat, which you can see out there towards you. You're right here. You're in this light green for today. You're in light green for tomorrow and for Tuesday. So this is basically telling us that there is a shot, for some thunderstorms to occur, but they're not expected to do anything crazy. They're not expected to be severe, essentially. Let's see here. See, Dave says, thanks, Andrew. You're welcome. Jim wants to take a look here at 48386. Let's see here. Jim. Wait a minute. Is this the Jim that I know? Jim? I'm not sure. I used to play Gary's mod with a person named Jim, and I think they had your thumbnail. Or not your thumbnail, your profile picture. Is this the Jim that I know? Maybe not. I don't know. 48386. Let's see, for Michigan. I don't think Michigan's even impacted. Like I said, there's really not many areas up north. Okay, so today, nothing. A couple thunderstorms possible. Yeah, I mean, you're in a generalized thunderstorm risk for a couple boomers here and there, a couple booms here and there. But yeah, not expected to do anything crazy. Let's see here. See, thank you. Jim says yes? Bro, it's you? No way. Jim? Oh my gosh, dude. Me and Jim used to play Gary's mod. Like, are you serious, bro? That's you? Oh my gosh. Dude, memories right there. Memories. Holy cow. Let's see. Hurricane season's been struggling. It sure has. It really has. Jim, oh my gosh, dude. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope everything's doing all right with you. Let's see. Matthews 36319. 36319. Alabama. Yeah, like I said, we covered Alabama. We're not expecting anything in Alabama to occur. You're out there towards Georgia, so even then, there's nothing out there either. We're not expecting much of anything. Did I already do Whitney's? 80128. Did I already do yours? 80128. Colorado. I did not. Denver. I don't think. Yeah, I think Denver's even clear. Yeah, you're good today, good tomorrow, and the day after. But you do have thunderstorm threats every day, so a couple chances for a few thunderstorms. But yeah, generally not expected to do anything crazy. Yeah, we used to play back in 2019, 2020. I'm doing good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I've always, that game, I haven't played that game in forever. I really don't play it that much anymore. Can I do 63028 for tonight? 63028. Festus, Missouri. Okay, I think you might. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is what I was looking at according to like the HRRR, which is one of the models. It does maybe show a few thunderstorms happening early tomorrow morning. So the HRRR is basically saying around 5 a.m. or so, there could be some thunderstorms. I mean, even earlier than that, maybe anywhere from 2 to 5 a.m. I would say 2 to 6 a.m. It shows a few scattered thunderstorms possible for you. So, but I don't think they're not expected to be anything severe. Oh, sorry. No, wait a minute. You are in that severe weather risk. So, okay. So yeah, between 2 and 6, I would keep an eye on it. A main concern, obviously, is not tornadoes, just wind and hail, actually. So that is essentially what we are, kind of talking about here. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Let's see. Let's see, struggling. We already had the fourth name storm. Yeah, I mean, I think what he meant by is that, considering we're in an El Nino, tropical activity is a lot slower than it would normally be on a normal season. It's not like in La Nina. I mean, it's not like the last couple of years. I mean, the last couple of years have been nuts. I mean, obviously 2020, we had like 30 named storms from that La Nina we're in. Like I said, due to lack of trade winds, or weaker winds across the Atlantic, allows for more, tropical activity to occur. because, organization's not really restrained. Compared to an El Nino, in this case, example, 95L that we have going on right now, basically just like shredding itself apart from those winds, essentially. But anyways, let's see here. But that's that. What's up, Leon? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. Kyle says, awesome. Thank you so much. No problem. You are very, very welcome, y'all. But anyways, let's see here. Okay, so that was severe weather. I want to go ahead and pull up the climate. Okay, here's another big problem, y'all. So here is for day 6 to day 10. So basically from this week into next week, guys. Here's the temperature outlook across the country. I mean, it is going to be really hot. Like I was explaining in my video this morning, we have ourselves a big ridge across the west, a big area of high pressure that's basically just driving in a lot of warm air into the country, essentially. So it's obviously heating up a lot of the country a lot more than normal. So you can obviously see all these areas here in red, representing more of a warmer type of ordeal. Obviously, the northeast may be slightly cooler than normal. Obviously, kind of like the west is mostly, the upper northwest, close towards like, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, kind of showing maybe around average. Same thing for like the upper Midwest and the Northern Plains. And regarding to precipitation, so basically rainfall over the next, from 1 week, or basically for this week and the next week, up north, it's looking to be a bit more above average. Honestly, could be seeing some more rain, especially out here towards like North and South Dakota, and maybe even like eastern Montana here, showing maybe a bit more active or a bit more above average rainfall. But down southeast here, it looks to be a little bit dry. Now for the following week out there, let's see here. Obviously for temperature here for basically day 8 to 14, so basically next week to the week after, essentially. Once again, remaining quite warm. Same thing for the upper northwest this time, so pretty warm, but actually it does cool down maybe a bit towards the northeast, possibly there upper northeast, I should say, maybe a bit more cooler. Seeming to be possible. Mid-Atlantic, possibly Ohio Valley, slightly cooler. Seems to be a good possibility. So with all that going on there, it's just going to be a lot more cold or a lot more warmer for the central and southern side of the country here. In terms of precipitation for basically next week and the week after, honestly, a bit more above average for most of the people, except for like the towards Wisconsin, maybe there towards Michigan, maybe slightly more dry out there. Let's see here. Oceanic temperatures might. Honestly, the oceanic temperatures are very hot across a lot of the Atlantic. We actually talked about that here earlier. But I mean, if you have the hot waters, I mean, if you seriously have such warm waters across the Atlantic, I mean, obviously that's great for any conducive environments for tropical activity. But since the fact that we are literally, I mean, obviously anywhere in these regions here is suitable for tropical development, anywhere 26 degrees Celsius and higher, tropical systems could be sustained in these areas. So a lot of the Atlantic is good for hurricanes and tropical storms, but that means nothing. That means nothing whenever you have those strong upper level winds, either that or lack of moisture. Obviously, lack of moisture, gets rid of thunderstorm activity to get the storm to really start to kick off and organize. And then obviously the upper level winds basically just rips apart any thunderstorm activity, away from that centralized location. So, even though those temperatures are really good for tropical development, it's like honestly, it's, a little bit bland otherwise. The probabilities of you having, that activity there, I mean, even though those temperatures are, like, pretty daggone warm, it's like if you don't have any of those other ingredients there, lack of winds and obviously those the moisture supply, I should say, basically it's not worth it, or it's not, really there. Let's see here. When do I expect the severe weather to ramp back down here in the southeast United States? Because we used to get a bunch of day 4+ outlooks on the SPC, but now they can't predict it. Honestly, that's kind of the way that the whole U.S. is right now. I mean, we have kind of a lack of what we call troughing. So usually these big troughs, like we were talking about in my video earlier, these big troughs basically, really kick off these big severe weather events here. For example, I'm going to go ahead and bring you all over here to the models for a moment, because let's go and do that real quickly. So here is the here's the view across the. Let's see, we're going to actually sign in real quickly. So here's the view across portions here of the country. So whenever it comes to the activity here, you know, in terms of the jet stream, like I said, we obviously have this big ridging across the west right now. We have this really big high pressure that's built up across the west. Once again, bringing a lot of warm air from the EPAC, or the Eastern Pacific, essentially, and basically throwing it down into the central country. Now, whenever it comes down to the future, you can obviously see that that high pressure is going to be there forever, it looks like. I mean, for a long time. I mean, this even shows it happening into early August, this high pressure remaining in place out there out west. So basically, you can see here, there's not much troughing. You know, basically a big dip in the jet stream, kind of like this. This is what we call a trough. And obviously, the ridge is what we're seeing right now. This big high pressure that we're seeing the jet stream go above. Meanwhile, the jet stream goes below on a trough. So we're seeing a lack of these big troughs that's occurring across the country. And obviously, like I said, these big troughs that you usually see, those represent, those big severe weather events due to a lot stronger, wind shear, and typically bringing up a lot more moisture because of those winds is the thing. Wolf Gamer says, let's see here, gotta head out. Hopefully I can make the next stream, but my schedule's pretty hectic. Bye. Join the Discord too, by the way. Well, glad to have you here, Wolf. Once again, thank you so much for that donation. You rock, dude. Very, very sweet of you. Thank you absolutely so much. And I brought up the Storm Prediction Outlook because it sounds bad, but I learned a lot about even major storm systems if it teaches me what to look for and what occurs compared to previous events. Gotcha. Let's see. Knight says, hi, what's up? Hope we're doing good. Yep, from CSU, bold prediction of 4 major hurricanes. I did hear that. I did hear about that. But, I mean, even now, here's the thing. In terms of tropical activity, I'm going to go hop you guys back over here real quickly. We're not even in the latter portion yet. Because, like I said, here, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Here, I'll go ahead and show you guys the hurricane activity chart. So, whenever it comes to, tropical activity, here we go. This is the image I always show every year. So let me I'm gonna full screen this actually, so you guys can see the whole thing. But whenever it comes to the activity here, you can obviously see the hurricanes are represented in the yellow. Hurricanes and tropical storms are represented in the red. It's a big it looks like a big fire essentially. But obviously right now we're heading in towards August. So on the timeline, we're like right here. This is where we're at on the timeline, right here where my blue marker's at. So obviously, the ladder of it is still ahead of us. You know, the hurricane season really hasn't even approached its highest yet. But once we start working towards middle August, that's whenever we start to go up the ladder. And obviously, once we work our way towards like the first week of September into the second week of September, first and second weeks of September are the peak, the climax of hurricane season. And obviously here, like I said, regarding activity here, it's going to be peaked out maybe around that first, second week of September. So we're still, a month or two away from that. But like I said, obviously, once we approach August 1st in a couple of days, we're going to start climbing up that ladder essentially. It's going to be continuing to climb every day until we reach that second week or the first and second week of September. And then it's going to slightly decline until basically, given out right around November. Because it's, I think it's, let's see, October. Wait, was it October or November? Oh my gosh, I keep on forgetting. I'm literally forgetting this now. I think it was November 1st. That's the end of the hurricane season. Pretty sure. Or is it December? I'm losing my mind. I used to know this. And if anyone asked me, I used to know this. But apparently, I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, once we get towards like November, it's going to start to really die down, in terms of activity here. But with the peak being right there around like early September. How's the El Nino track looking? We've been forecasting, predicting El Nino going to break. That water in the Gulf is hot. Very, very hot, actually. Let's see, Matthew says, I'm surprised on how Dawn's holding on. Absolutely. But yeah, Steve, in terms of in terms of the El Nino that we have currently going on here, we are still in a very strong El Nino. Basically, here's what we're looking at. So we're actually current latest value is 0.87, which that's a pretty moderate El Nino here. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, so basically from this point here, I'm going to draw 2 lines here. So basically from these areas, so 0.5 to negative 0.5. This is what we call neutral conditions. So obviously this is, normal conditions, not El Nino or La Nina in terms of things. Let's see, November 30th. Okay, thank you. Thank you. But in terms of, obviously, this is, neutral conditions, basically saying that we're, not in El Nino or La Nina. This down here is La Nina. And then this up here is El Nino. And you can see right now at the end of the graph, this is where we're at right now. This is the point where we're at right now. We are in a El Nino. So obviously, we are in a pretty strong El Nino right now. And like I said, we've been actually in a La Nina, I believe, since 2019. We've been in a La Nina for quite a while, actually. Obviously, 2020 was a heavy La Nina, which caused, a lot of severe weather in some areas, as well as, a elevated tropical activity. It was really elevated out there. Regarding hurricane season. But like I said, right now, El Nino, we're in the opposite phase compared to that really active time period in 2020. Obviously, El Ninos, like I said, increase. The reason why hurricanes are a lot more hard to come across during El Nino, which we're in right now, is because of those stronger upper-level winds, those trade winds that basically, essentially slow down development and, in some cases completely remove development, which is kind of what happening with the 95L right now, is the fact that it's just running into an area with really strong winds that's basically preventing, the storm from even happening. But according to the forecast here regarding El Nino, let's see, we're going to actually hop back over here. I'm going to pull up the forecast. I just looked at this on the other live stream here not too long ago. But here we go. So I'm going to bring you all back over here real quickly. So in terms of the forecast out there, the forecast models remain us in El Nino for quite some time now. We have something called the statistical average and the dynamic average, which the dynamic average is across the, the red here. Yeah, so this is the dynamic average here, and this is the statistical average. So obviously the best point you want to get is the middle. Obviously the middle, the line of best fit, basically that middle ground between all these models. You can see how they're all over the place. So for example, we have this line, we have this line here. So this right here, this is La Nina down here, this is El Nino up here. And we're kind of in, obviously in terms of right now, July, August, September. So we're kind of in like, kind of in this area right in here. This is where we're at right now. But in terms of the future progression, it obviously has us remaining in an El Nino literally possibly even in towards the end of the winter next year, which El Nino winters are crazy for the East, especially. Oh my goodness. Last two major snowstorms. I used to live in Virginia. The last 2 major snowstorms we had was in 2010 and 2016. 2010 was a really strong El Nino, which kind of forecasted to be. And in terms of 2016, we had a really nasty. Both of those producing anywhere from 2 to 3 feet of snow, which is absolutely nuts. Near DC. I lived pretty close to DC at the time. So whenever it comes to it, we are expected to be in an El Nino here for the entire of the hurricane season. That's a most likelihood. We are likely going to remain into, the El Nino for the entire hurricane season and even potentially even the entire winter of 2023 to 2024. So, regardless of that, it looks like we are going to be essentially in an El Nino for quite some time. I mean, considering that the oscillations usually happen anywhere from 4 to 7 years, obviously, like I said, we've been in a La Nina for a long time now. I mean, this has been happening for a very, very long time. And like I said, obviously, we just underwent that change from a La Nina to an El Nino. So basically, if you want to know what the difference is, it's pretty simple, what's going on out there. So we have the globe. Obviously, you can see the Pacific is the absolute monstrous of the oceans. There's no ocean in the world that's bigger than the Pacific. I mean, you got the Indian Ocean, which is pretty big. I mean, you got the Atlantic Ocean, which is huge. And you got, obviously, the Pacific, which, if you're looking at one side of the Earth, you see just plain water, essentially. So obviously the Pacific is a massive, massive ocean. Now, the El Nino, La Nina cycle happens in the equator. So obviously the equator being the halfway point, basically splitting the 2 hemispheres apart. So we obviously have the southern hemisphere down here, and we have the northern hemisphere up here. So basically what happens during an El Nino, the condition we're in right now, is the fact that these warm temperatures, there's actually those surface temperatures are a lot more warmer than they would be during, a La Nina. So right now the surface temperatures are a lot hotter than normal. Obviously, normal conditions would not be really hot or cold, but in terms of La Nina, we have a lot more cooler temperatures across basically the eastern Pacific, there towards the equator. So that's kind of the main concern, the main differences. So obviously, whenever it comes to it, obviously El Nino's warmer surface temperature anomalies, obviously they're towards the, once again, the EPAC, the Eastern Pacific. And then, like I said, La Nina is a lot cooler. So obviously right now we're in that warmer stage where it's a lot more warmer across the equator there. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. I know it can be a pretty difficult topic. Like I said, I know it can be a really difficult topic for a lot of people. Obviously it took me a while to get a hold of it, but once I did, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. But anyways, when will we go back to a La Nina? It'll probably be a while, Rain. Considering that the cycles usually happen every 4 to 7 years, it could be a while. It could be a while. Let's see here. Matthew says, oh yeah, El Nino brought some snow to the southern U.S. in 2010. I'm trying to figure out if we might get some snow this year in Alabama. Gotcha. Last year we got well below freezing, but had no moisture for snow. That's the way it's been up here for a while. Because like I said, I used to live in Virginia, Northern Virginia up here, towards D.C. I lived right in here. Now I live out here towards Louisville. So I've obviously migrated pretty far to the west. But whenever it comes to, the last couple of years from my personal observation between both the states, there's been a lot of cold air, yes, and sometimes been actually slightly warmer than normal. But anyways, there's been just a big lack of precipitation for a lot of these regions. That's basically preventing, a lot of big snows and stuff like that. That always happened in La Nina, except for the last couple of years we've been in La Nina. Now we're in El Nino, which I remember observing from El Nino years. Like I said, from 2010 to 2016, we had Snowmageddon. I don't know if any of you live locally towards D.C. You'll probably remember this. Dropped about 2 feet of snow. Or 3 feet of snow in some areas, actually. And then we had 2016 Winter Storm Jonas impact these same areas here with another El Nino. So obviously 2010 to 2016, or somewhere in between, we swapped back from La Nina to El Nino. But regardless, I mean, seriously, we are literally, typically during these El Nino years, we see a lot more heavy snow across the Mid-Atlantic. In which I do think, since we are expected to be in an El Nino this year, it's kind of unknown of how strong as of right now, because obviously we still have all fall, the rest of summer to go through, and obviously, then moving into wintertime, which the heaviest of winter is obviously like January and February is like the most, rough winter months. But yeah, like I said, right now it's a little bit unknown with that, but it does look like the signs are hinting towards that El Nino, essentially. Let's see here. Am I making a winter forecast? I will. I'll be making my winter forecast, I believe, August 31st. I think that's probably when I'll make my forecast. So it'll still be about a month, a little over a month I'll make my winter forecast. I'll probably, actually, I wrote down a schedule. Let's see, whatever I wrote. But I wrote down a schedule of what I'm going to be doing for these days. Here we go. So actually I have a whole schedule I've planned for you guys. I'm actually going to share it with y'all. So obviously we're doing a fall forecast August 1st. So I'm probably going to be doing a fall forecast. Then we move into a winter forecast for September 1st, a second update to the winter forecast October 1st, a final update essentially, or a final forecast for November 1st, and then we go to winter update 1 in January 1st to give you all, December 1st to give you guys a little bit of a preview of kind of what's going on, what we're expecting. Then we'll do a second winter update for January 1st, and then for the third update, we'll do February 1st, and then I'll come out the spring forecast for March 1st. So that's kind of the plans I have right now. So let's see, when do we expect the wind shear to die off a little? That would be when the U.S. needs to worry a little bit about tropical waves. So Matthew, like I said, typically El Niños, you're right, how they do increase those trade winds. They do increase the upper level winds, which can really hurt and completely kill off tropical systems. So since we're expected to be in an El Nino, it's probably going to last all season. It's most likely going to last all season. Because like I said, typically once we turn into an El Nino, we'll probably be in that phase for a while. statistically anyways. Statistically we'll be in an El Nino for quite some time from what it looks like. Let's see. But it's still a little unknown. I mean, we're kind of talking maybe kind of a moderate El Nino this year. Maybe kind of a light to moderate El Nino. Right now we're kind of in a moderate La Nina. Moderate El Nino. I completely messed it up. Moderate El Nino is currently what we're in right now. But anyways. But all right, well guys, I tell you what, I think we talked about everything weather related in this stream. Holy cow, I really went deep into analysis in this live stream. If you guys did enjoy it, do me a favor, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys would like to support us, we do have a Venmo now up in the top right at NWW16. Like I said, if you guys want to send a few dollars to help out with our programs, everything like that, seriously, thank you so much, guys. Big shout out obviously goes to Wolf Gamer today for a massive $50 donation. Thank you so much, Wolf Gamer. I know you had to leave, but if you're somehow magically still here, thank you, dude. Once again, very sweet of you. And also Andon for the first donation. Thank you so much, Andon, as well. You guys absolutely rock. So we really appreciate it. Like I said, any support we can get here seriously helps me out a ton between personal living as well as, like I said, obviously, the bills to these programs I have to use. Unfortunately, they're not free, but like I said, got to do what you got to do to get the word out there. But anyways, like I said, guys, just thank you all so much for being here. You guys rock. We love you guys so much. Like I said, obviously, if there's anything we can do for you, let me know. Be sure to join our Discord down below as well. Be greatly appreciated. Let's see, Monica with a $5 super chat. Monica, thank you so much for that. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much, Monica. Big shout out goes to you. Thank you guys so much. Monica, Wolf, Andon, you guys rock. Thank you all so much. Very sweet of you guys. Let's see. Rex says, thank you so much. You're very welcome, Rex. Once again, Monica, thank you so much. Matthew says, I appreciate your help. I enjoyed the Q&A thing in your stream, even if it wasn't meant for a Q&A. That's the way I try to keep this live stream all the time. I try to keep it to where I'm engaging with the viewer. Obviously, that's what makes this special, or this channel special, is I try to engage with you guys. The way, obviously you guys are a little bit more aware, aspect. But yeah. Let's see, Monica. Well, yeah, once again, Monica, thank you so much. Very sweet of you. We love you, Monica. Thank you so much. Once again, Monica, Wolf Gamer, and Andon, thank you all so much. But all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and head off here for tonight. Like I said, I may or may not go live tomorrow morning, maybe early for the severe weather coverage. I might do it if they upgrade it. So keep that in mind. Like I said, obviously, before we head off here, according to the models here, like I said, it shows a kind of a nasty line of storms kicking off across eastern Nebraska. It's just now going through. Thank you once again, Monica. But it kind of shows a really nasty line of storms popping off between like 3 and 5 a.m. And going right there towards Omaha, potentially heading there towards Kansas City, maybe around like 8, 9 a.m. But yeah, but that's kind of the ordeal, what we're looking at. So I might be live for this here early. I know most of you guys probably won't be here. You guys will probably be sleeping, which I don't blame you. But for the people who obviously is, in these areas, just know we'll be live for you guys early morning tomorrow. Most likely, I'm gonna say I'll give it an 80% chance we'll be live for this. So it's a good probability we'll be live. But anyways, let's see. Sorry, I'm late. Says Rebecca. Let's see. It's my birthday. Thanks for the updates, bro. You're very welcome, Rebecca. Happy birthday to you. Monica says, best weather channel here. Thank you, Monica. Very sweet of you. J-Lu says, good night. Bless dreams, everyone. You as well, J-Lu. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Stream's going to head off here in now, let's see here, now 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and load this up here. So, yep, stream's going to head off here now in approximately 2 minutes. Once again, thank you all for being here. Big shout out goes to Monica, as well as Wolf Gamer and Andon. Thank you guys for supporting the channel today. You guys absolutely rock. We love y'all. Thank you all for being here. And all right, well, we'll catch you guys in the next update. Hope you all stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys later on. Peace out, my friends. Love y'all. Be safe out there.